This is not the time to choose sides between the PLP and the FNM. This is the time to think soberly. Is my country going in the right direction? Well, here is a video. This is the end game. Either we are for it or against it. Brent Simonet versus Alex Newman. You be the judge.
The first round of World Trade Organization accession talks began today ahead of the Bahamas seeking full membership in that global trading body come next year.
We reckon they'll provide better trade opportunities by seizing the protections and the safeguards and rules of the rules-based system.
And as soon as people start joining these agreements, you give up that ability to unelected international bodies, whether it be North American tribunals under NAFTA or United Nations tribunals under the World Trade Organization. And so that's why there's this giant push in the Bahamas and the United States, every country around the world. Give up your sovereignty, join these free trade agreements, submit yourself to international courts. And if people, all over the world, not just in the Bahamas and in the United States, but if people all over the world don't start waking up, by the time our children are grown up, our grandchildren, it's going to be a very different world, and it's going to be a very unpleasant one.
It will not allow unfettered access of companies like Walmart to the Bahamas. The Bahamas will ultimately maintain its ability to determine its economic and monetary policy. This will not include a free movement of labor, in which people from anywhere in the world will have unfettered access to the Bahamas.
When you join these types of things, you lose your self-government. And I mean, self-government is crucial. Do the Bahamian people really want to have the decisions that impact their lives made by, bureaucrats from other countries that they have no influence over, that they can't elect or fire?
And we believe also that by improving Bahamian products and services access to global markets through competitive, progressive bilateral agreements.
That's baloney. You can look at any country where these bureaucrats have come into, and what you see time and time again, they ruin the economy, they ruin the government, and what they're doing is, they're harmonizing the world regulatory system, and he kind of spoke to that. He said we have to adopt these regulations to be in compliance with the WTO, and that's exactly what's going on. They're harmonizing the regulations all over the world, and we're going to end up in this totalitarian world system where people have no influence over the legislation and the regulation that governs their lives. And it sounds like the ministers in the Bahamas are all in favor of that. So, if I was a Bahamian voter, I would be extremely concerned. And that's the system that they're moving toward very quickly. And it's the same thing that's going to happen to the Bahamas if the government continues going down this road. They tell us, well, if you want to be prosperous, if you want to compete in the global economy, you have to surrender all your self-government and all your freedom to these international organizations, and then you'll do fine. But that's not true. We can see that from the objective evidence. Switzerland is doing quite well. All the countries that have resisted these types of things, that have maintained their sovereignty, are doing quite well. And the countries that have surrendered are on the way down. And, again, we can look anywhere in the world and see the effects of this. It's just been an absolute disaster for the common people, and it has been a boon for the people who are running things at the top of the pyramid. If I was Bahamian, I would be at the parliament right now saying, hey, guys, we elected you to govern. We didn't elect you to give away our self-government to international organizations. So, I think people need to get busy, because if the Bahamian people are going to be free and independent, they need to avoid these kinds of, fake free trade agreements and World Trade Organization, these types of things, because once your sovereignty is gone, you're not going to get it back. Once your decisions over your life and your business are being made in Geneva or in Beijing or in Washington, D.C., there's really no going back from that. You're not going to get your sovereignty back. You're not going to get your ability to govern yourself back. And, it's crucial that these people be opposed. The system they want to build is nightmarish and totalitarian. And, I hope the Bahamian people join together and say, no, we're not participating in that system. And anybody who tries to sell out our sovereignty and sell out their citizens is going to be fired and maybe even penalized. Because, at this point we're talking about really, really serious implications. And people need to get busy, get educated, get organized, and put a stop to it.
WTO, the final frontier.